Welcome back to part 2 of my walkthrough for the remastered version of Resident Evil, my friends. We are going to start this episode by obtaining the armor key. In the end of part 1 I obtained the dog collar and will need the dog collar to collect the armor key. As we step out of this room, don't forget that there's a zombie waiting for you. So you can either wait for him to start climbing up the stairs and then it's much easier to dodge him when you're climbing up the stairs, or you can just dodge him like I did. Now you can shoot this zombie, usually one shot blows up his head, but it's not that hard to dodge him. Just make sure he lunges at you and then you step back a little bit and you can easily sidestep him. Ignore the body that gets up, that's the very first Crimson Head that we encounter in the game. Crimson Heads are a lot faster and more deadly than your standard zombies, but you really don't need to worry about that one. And now let's go ahead and collect the armor key. And this key opens a bunch of doors in the mansion. Unfortunately, this triggers a trap, and that's why we need the key hidden in the dog collar to get out of this mess. Must have been a pain in the butt to be the housekeeper for this mansion. Can you imagine having to go through all of these traps just to move to the next area? I wouldn't want to work here at all. So we're going to insert the key now, and that stops the trap. And now we can get out without having any problems. Keep in mind, however, that as you move out of this room, the Crimson Head will be waiting for you. So we're going to need to move fast. There's no point in taking him down. And as such, what we're going to do here is hug the wall and quickly turn and go back to the same room from where we came from. And if we do that, and I was very close to being grabbed there, but I managed to escape, and that's what matters. We should be able to escape without the Crimson Head being able to do anything. Just run past that zombie. Like I said, the animation of them turning around. If you go to your right side, you'll be able to dodge him easily. And now let's blow up this guy's head. One shot should do him in. There we go. So he won't be coming back to bother us. Morning. We're not going to take down this zombie here. We're going to instead go around and move towards the next area. What we're going to do next is obtain the grenade launcher, the weapon that we'll be using further on in the game, but nonetheless I'm going to go ahead and collect it now. Oh goodness, I need to get used to the camera angles. It's been such a long time since I've played a game with fixed camera angles that I'm still getting a little bit used to it. In fact, the last game that I played with fixed camera angles was Resident Evil 2, and I made a walkthrough for that game in 2011, or maybe it was 2012, but nonetheless it's been a long time. So poor Forrest, another member of Bravo team, is dead. He died in a weird position, but as soon as we pick up the grenade launcher we can leave this area. If you didn't encounter Barry in the room with the shotgun, if Barry didn't save you, then he should be here and he will give Jill the grenade launcher.
Richard! What happened? You're wounded!
This whole place is a killing zone. There are monsters.
What did this to you?
A big snake. And it had to be poisonous.
Poisonous? Richard, hold on.
Bring me serum. I saw some, but didn't bring any.
I'll go and get it, okay? You're gonna make it.
Thanks.
Okay guys, so now we need to get the serum for poor Richard. The serum is in the room where I first started this part of the walkthrough. So we need to go all the way back, and we have precisely 4 minutes to do this, otherwise Richard will unfortunately die. And we don't want him to die, so we're going to try and save him. I mean, poor guy, his entire team has been decimated. Of course there's Rebecca, but she doesn't appear in Jill's game. But Bravo team leaves a lot to be desired in comparison to the Alpha team. So we're going to pick up the serum, and after that I'm going to obtain the first death mask, since I have just enough time to do this, and only after that will I go and deliver the serum to Richard. But first let's go grab the serum. It's inside this room, like I said, by the treasure chest. Here it is. And I'm going to put the grenade launcher in my chest because I won't need it for now. And now let's run through here. Be careful because there's a zombie here, but you can easily dodge him. If you hug the wall, you shouldn't have any problems whatsoever. You also need to use the armor key to get through this door. And now let's take care of the plant predicament that we have and go and collect the first dead mask. So what we need to do here is insert the chemical in the water. If you play the original Resident Evil, then this scene plays out precisely the same way. And now we need to turn the reds to the red side, and this will kill the plants here. If you try to approach them without killing them, then they will attack Jill and they will damage you, and you don't want that. And now here we go. The death mask, the very first death mask that we can obtain. And now we're going to quickly step out and let's go save poor Richard's life. I actually like Richard. Nope, we're not having none of this. Let's just get out of here. In fact, Richard plays a bigger role in the remake of Resident Evil than he did in the original Resident Evil. The original Resident Evil is credited with having one of the funniest lines in the game when he says to Jill that this house is full of monsters and demons, and then he's like, ouch, and he passes out. It's kind of funny, but if you want to watch the original Resident Evil walkthrough, I have a walkthrough for it on my channel, so if you want to check it out, feel free to do so. And let's go and save Richard now. If you want to run up the steps a little bit faster, you can button mash the run button in the direction that you need to go, and your character will take much less time to climb up the steps.
Here, Richard. I'm gonna give you a shot. Hang in there.
Jill, here's my radio. Take it. Does it ever not hurt? I'm okay. The others...
I wouldn't worry too much about the others, Richard. They're all dead. Aside from Rebecca. Oh, and I guess Enrico is alive as well. Enrico is the captain of the Bravo team. So let's equip our shotgun here and take care of this zombie. His head won't explode, but we need to take him down because otherwise he will follow us into the other room. Doesn't really matter if he comes back as a crimson head because we won't need to return to this area later on, so it doesn't really matter. And now we're going to use the lighter on this candlestick right here. And apparently I'm not in the right position. Come on. Oh, so annoying. Come on, Jill. There we go. There's 2 handgun clips in this room. One's on top of the table, you can see there. And I'll show you the location of the other one soon. Let's just blow up this guy's head and pick up the musical notes, or the musical score. And now let's go turn around, and here we find another handgun clip, but we don't need it. But in case you want to pick it up, now you know where it is. So there's 2 handgun magazines there. So feel free to collect them if you want. And now let's keep moving. What we need to do now, in order to move towards the next area and battle Leon, is collect the shield key. But in order to obtain the shield key, we need to solve a little puzzle, and we need to combine the musical notes with the musical score that we just obtained, and the musical notes are located in the piano room. So we're going to go there right now, back towards the dining hall. And we're going to pick up the emblem that's by the fireplace. Again, if you play the original Resident Evil game, you know this. And I'm sure that a lot of you have played the remake and you are aware that you need to do this, but again, I'm just breaking it down for the people who are playing the game for the first time. So I hope all of you other players out there don't mind. But this is a walkthrough and it's important to explain these things. We can dodge past this zombie, but if you're not feeling super comfortable, you can shoot him in the legs with your shotgun and he will fall to his knees and you can run past him. However, as you see here, it's not super hard to escape the zombies. If you practice a little bit, then you shouldn't have any problems in doing this. Just make sure that you lure him in, and then just when he's about to lunge, move further away from him and then just dodge to one of the sides and run past them, because it will take them a little bit to attack. And playing the piano and that beautiful song opens this hidden passage, and we're going to obtain another file here, the first part of Trevor's diary. Trevor, for those of you who don't know, was the architect who built the mansion, and then he was trapped inside the mansion. In fact, Umbrella kept him there, and we will find Trevor's diaries along the way as we move along the story of the game. It's actually a really tragic story. These files aren't present in the original Resident Evil game, but we also learn about his wife and daughter. So he has a really tragic story here, but then again, he was the one responsible for building this mansion with all these traps and so on. So he has a pretty good idea of the layout of the mansion. In fact, in some of his diaries, he offers tips to the player. 1967, that's been way too many years ago. But apparently they kept all the traps. So the reason why we needed to pick up the other emblem was so that we could pick up the gold emblem, and by placing the bronze emblem in place of the gold emblem, we will be able to move ahead. And now we're going to place the gold emblem by the fireplace, and that will give us access to another small puzzle that we need to solve. Really simple puzzle. Pay attention to the painting that's by the clock. You can see that the big sword of that fighter is piercing through the guy's head, and then the little knife is piercing through the other guy's chest. So what we need to do is turn the hour pointer towards the armor, just like the picture shows, and we need to keep the minute pointer pointing towards the head, and that will unveil the shield key. You don't even need to move the minute pointer. All you need to do is turn the hour pointer twice to the left or twice to the right, it doesn't really matter, and you will complete this puzzle. I'm just going to examine it here. As you can see, shield key. I know a lot of you knew that, but still felt like showing it. And now we're going to head back towards where Richard is, and be ready. If you're not doing a no damage run of the game, have some health items with you. There's 2 green herbs in this room where you encounter Richard, so you might want to pick them up if you're not feeling super comfortable. We only need to use the shield key to open this door. After that the shield key becomes pointless, so you can discard it. Let's open the door.
Payback time!
So if you manage to save Richard, he will come out and assist Jill in this fight, which obviously makes our life a lot easier. We need to stay away from the snake. If you usually stay near its tail, you will be out of its reach. Don't stay too close to it because the snake has an incredible reach, and even when you think you're out of danger, you might end up being bitten. And if you get bitten even just once, Jill will be poisoned, and you will need to get the serum to save her life. Otherwise, she will die.
Thanks.
Oh, you're gonna pay for that, you bastard. Killing my friend Richard, who just helped me so much. And I will gain my revenge, but that will be later on. There's no point in taking care of Dion right now, so let's get out of here. But trust me, Richard will be avenged sooner or later. You can count on that. In the original Resident Evil that doesn't happen. It's nice to see Richard playing a bigger role and saving Jill's life. Jill would have died if Richard didn't save her. So he's actually a hero and he sacrifices himself to save his friend. I kind of feel sad right now though, and oh boy. Thankfully I have a dagger. I already counted that I wouldn't be able to dodge that zombie because I should have hugged the wall first. But no harm done. If you have a dagger and the zombie grabs you from the front, you'll be able to stab him with the dagger. Yes, I lost the dagger, but I really didn't want to kill that zombie, and that's why you didn't see me use my shotgun. Because if I kill that zombie, then he will come back as a crimson head later on, and I don't want that, so the dagger worked really nicely there. This is the order that you need to push these statues. So top right, then bottom left, then bottom right, and then the last statue will be inserted automatically. And now we can collect the box, the mysterious box. I've noticed that in the game sometimes there's some sort of weird screen effect when we transition from the item menu to the actual game. And as you can see, that guy is back up, and so he didn't die, which is good. And we can easily escape, and that's going to conclude this segment of the walkthrough, my friends. Before we move on ahead, we're going back to the safe room to dispose of a few items. Let me just take care of this zombie right here. This area is going to be overrun with hunters, so it doesn't matter if we kill the zombies here or not. So now that what we're going to do is head inside the safe room. Barry left a first aid spray and flame rounds in there for us to pick up. I don't need the first aid spray, but I will need the flame rounds. So this is going to conclude this part, my friends. Thank you so much for watching. Part 3 will be available shortly. Thank you for participating in the giveaway. I was really pleased to see that the first part of my walkthrough was very well received. I think it's the video where I had the biggest amount of comments so soon after I uploaded the video, so that makes me really happy. Thank you for taking the time to comment and liking my videos, I really appreciate it, and I'll see you all later. Take care.